If standing up from a chair feels harder than it should, you're losing the exact muscle that makes this easy. I'm going to show you how my clients go from this to this in just 3 weeks. Standing up from a chair requires the recruitment of type 2 muscle fibers, and it's possible that yours aren't functioning as well as they should. Muscles are primarily made up of 2 different fiber types. Type 1 fibers, low intensity, low threshold fibers. These are the fibers that we use every single day. And type 2 fibers are reserved for high output activities like standing up quickly from a chair. Type 2 fibers fatigue more quickly, can't use them for as long. Anytime you do an intense activity that requires high effort, you're using your type 2 fibers. As you age, type 1 fibers largely stay intact. After age 30, and especially after age 70, we start to lose the function in our type 2 muscle fibers. These are the fibers that are responsible for making it easy to stand up from a chair, catching yourself if you trip and fall. They're responsible for continuing to move fast, powerful, and confidently. They're the fibers that when trained properly, people look at you and think, wow, that person really gets around well. Now there's a test that you can do at home that will show you exactly how well your type 2 muscle fibers are functioning. It's called the time up and go test, or the tug test. All you need is a chair and a stopwatch. You're gonna start seated on the chair, you're gonna stand up, you're gonna walk 10 feet, turn around, and sit back down. Time how long that takes you and see how you compare. If it takes you 12 seconds or more, your type 2 fibers likely need some work. Now, what can we do to improve the function of your type 2 muscle fibers? Good news, because it's extremely simple, but most people get this wrong. Low intensity aerobic activities like walking, jogging, swimming, or biking do very little to benefit your type 2 muscle fibers. Now, there is some type 1 muscle fiber benefits, and there's some cardiorespiratory benefits. But when it comes to the muscle function that helps you stand up out of a chair, that helps you walk faster, that helps you recover after a trip, is not being trained when you're doing low intensity aerobic activity. You need to be engaging in progressively overloaded strength training to make sure that we're handling enough weight that stimulates the reinnervation of our type 2 muscle fibers. Now, maybe you move as fast and confidently and powerfully as you already want. In that case, you can stop watching the video. But if you find yourself struggling to get up from a seated position or not moving as quickly and confidently as you used to or that you would like to, I've got good news here, because in just 3 weeks, you can dramatically improve the function and the capacity of your type 2 muscle fibers. The most reliable way that we have increase the function of your type 2 muscle fibers is in the gym. Now, if word gym made you throw up in your mouth a little bit, you don't need to worry, because I created a free plan that walks you through how to do everything. It's called a Rule of 3 Strength Progression Plan. It takes you from never lifting weights to increasing the functionality of your type 2 muscle fibers in 3 months. And you will see improvement if you follow the plan after just 3 weeks. To improve the health and function of type 2 muscle fibers, we need to remember what our type 2 muscle fibers are actually used for. Remember, I said strength, power, and speed type movements. The reason why they decline as we age is because we stop doing things that are expressing strength, speed, and power. And when we stop doing those, our muscles tell our brain, hey, you can let those neurons and neural pathways die off. Let's strengthen the type 1 fibers, so basically you get better at squeezing and moving slow, but we'll let the type 2 fiber network die off because we don't need it. So when you start training fast, strong, and powerful, you start to tell your body, hey, we still need that, and it very quickly starts to reroute neurons and signals that tell your type 2 muscle fibers to come back online, we need you. And the good news is we have mounds and mounds of research that people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90 plus do experience significant improvements in type 2 muscle fiber function with adequate strength training. My clients in their 60s, 70s, and 80s are regularly lifting dozens and even hundreds of pounds to stimulate and improve their type 2 muscle fiber function. So having dysfunctional type 2 muscle fibers doesn't have to be an age problem. It's a training problem. Type 2 muscle fibers respond to training no matter your age, but you need to start today so that by next month you have an easier time getting up and out of your chair. If you're interested in following my free printable program, you can get it in the link in the description or in the top of the comment section. Completely free and printable, and will dramatically improve your type 2 muscle fiber function and help you stand up from a chair comfortably and powerfully.